everyone, this is Poornima, and today we have Professor Dr. Zurab, who is the Vice Rector of Teaching University Geomedi with us, who is going to share detailed information about the medical university and the most importantly will give an answer to the question whether the degree from Geomedi University is valid in India or not. We'll also share the detailed insight about the country in particular, about the medical program from Georgia, about its language and many other things. So please be with me till the end of this video and we'll get to know the complete details from the Vice Rector of the Medical University. So first of all, we are very delighted to have you over here in India. And I would, we have many students who are eager to study in Georgia, especially in the Geomedi University, because of its wonderful FMG passing rate. So now the question that arises amongst the student is about the degree validation in India. So can you just let us know something about whether, since after the NMC regulations have come into picture, so the degree from the Georgian Medical University is valid in India or not?
Thanks for inviting me. The Georgian medical programs follows 100% NMC regulations of India. Which means that any graduates from Geomedi University get the diploma which is valid in India. So, and then I can actually add a little more about that. So, students from Geomedi University successfully has taken the USMLE test as well as the USMLE equivalent of UK test. So, which means that the diploma is valid globally, basically, not only in India but in any countries globally.
All right. So we can assume that the degree that the students will be getting from Geomedi Medical University is worldwide approved, including India. It is also approved by UK, by the GMC. It's approved by the ECFMG, which is a body which regulates the USMLE exams. So, and NMC has also mentioned if a degree is approved by WHO or is accredited in the country. I can also, suggest the students that the degree is valid in Georgia as well as in the rest of the countries in the world, including India. Generally students, they do ask us about how important to learn the Georgian language and what is the medium of instructions during the degree program throughout.
So in terms of the study process, it's 100% in English. However, we provide the Georgian language classes for Indian students, and then we expect that upon graduation of the university, they reach the B2 level of Georgian language proficiency. Like I mentioned, the other subjects, like the medical subjects, are taught in English, and in general, so students living in Georgia, they would not have any problem communicating with locals there because there are many English-speaking Georgians in the country. However, when they do the clinical rotation in the hospitals, and then communicating with the patients, so it is always better to have some Georgian language knowledge. If students are motivated enough, so we do provide the classes to give them Georgian language knowledge.
Okay, so like as per your experience, like how do Indian is that quite easy to understand or to learn Georgian language? Or
so if they really want, so they can actually learn Georgian language. I would not say it's very easy, but they can. I know many Indian students who actually speaks really well in Georgian.
In Georgian language, all right. And also, I would like to ask you something about the USMLE passing and there are students who are, since Geomedi is such an old university and almost 8 to 10 batches have been graduated so far, and there are students who are likely interested to give USMLE exam or P-Lev exam. So what is your take on that?
So I personally know students who have successfully passed the USMLE test. One of them actually I was supervising to participate to the conference. So we have twice in a year students theoretical scientific conferences, and then I was supervising one of them. He is actually planning to move to the US. So he has taken USMLE step 1, step 2, and then he is planning to move to US and then build his career in USA.
So Geomedi University, in what terms are providing facilities to the students, so that they can prepare for such license exams, like including the next exam in India and the USMLE exam or the other international licensing exams?
So I would say that the best what we do is our examination structure is very similar to the exams like FMG exams or USMLE exams. So meaning that we have computer-based examinations, as well as we have the OSCE exams for the students. So like the computer-based exams would be similar to the USMLE Step 1 and Step 2, and then while the OSCE exams would be would make easy for them to take the USMLE Step 3, for example. And then similarly for FMG exams. That's why we have the high rate of the high success rate for the Geomedi graduates for FMG exams.
Yes, for the FMG exam, I think Geomedi is having more than 65% of a success rate in FMG exams.
Yes.
And it has been increasing in the last consecutive years also. So when we get deep into USMLE exams or such, licensing exams wherein the clinical skills are required. So, can you just share some details about the university hospitals and from which year students, will be able to practice in the hospitals?
Sure. So our curriculum is integrated curriculum. So means that when students come to Georgia in Geomedi University, so first they start the basic subjects. I personally teach them, so I teach genetics. And then from the first to the including the 3 years, okay, so they study theoretical subjects, some clinical subjects as well, but most of the time they spend in university. But starting from the 4th year, so 100% there are clinical subjects, so they spend their 100% time in clinics. So and then we have our own clinics, so we send them in our clinics, and we have, of course, our faculty members working in the clinics, and then after 3 years, they 100% doing clinical rotations in clinics. But I have to mention also that before they move to the clinics, we have well-equipped simulation centers,
labs,
centers where they start practicing on mannequins, and then when they master their skills, so they can move to the hospitals.
So now one very important thing I would like to ask here, the many Indian parents and students are taking counseling to us every day, and they are very curious and they are very particular about asking the safety of the Indian students, especially the girl student. So how safe is Georgia and how safe is the country to study for the for whole 6 years for an Indian girl?
Sure. So first of all, I would say that Georgia is one of the safest country, and which can be easily checked online. In terms of the Indian girl, I would understand the concern having the Indian parents. I myself is a father of 2 girls, so I would worry about sending my daughters abroad.
Yeah.
So, and then first what I would think, and then what would be the most important for me would be safety, and then anything else comes after safety. So I would say that it's very safe country, and especially for women. So Georgian culture is have the respect for females in general.
Yeah.
So which actually I can give you some examples.
Yes,
in our
yes.
university.
Why not?
For example,
Why not?
the dean in the dean's office, we have all females there. And then the founder and rector of the Geomedi University is female, and then the president of the country is female. So we do respect females in Georgia, and then I would tell the Georgian parents that if they send their daughters in Georgia, so they will be safe there.
So that is really a nice thing to hear, and a wonderful message to all the worried parents here in India that Georgia is completely safe, not for girls, for boys also.
Of course, yeah, but I
it's
just
very
focus.
safe for the Indian students to study there, and the environment which they are getting here in Georgia, especially in Geomedi University, is really good and is really enriching to the students to study well. That's why the success rate is quite high. So the students are also asking me about how big the university is, how good the infrastructure is. So as we can see, the infrastructure is really good. The university is having its own clinics, the simulation labs, as well as its own hospitals, wherein students can easily get an access towards from the 3rd year onwards for their clinical rotations. So now I would also like to ask you, how many students have graduated from the university so far, especially the Indian students, and how many students are currently studying in the university?
Yeah, so currently we have more than 1,000 Indian students at Geomedi University, and then more than 500 already graduated, and they are registered doctors in India and other countries as well.
All right. So, like 500 Indian students who have already graduated from Geomedi University and have successfully passed the licensing or screening examination in India as well as in the other parts of the world. So, it is such an impressive number. So, you can get an idea that how good a university is. The education quality matters, which I think matters a lot to clear the screening examinations like FMG or USM. So I think the University Geomedi is giving a great platform to the Indian students by providing good international faculties and the facilities with respect to the hospitals. So so that it will be a great help building the medical career of the Indian students.
Yeah, I would say that if they want to get the medical degree, so and Geomedi provides the quality education.
Yes, we too agree on the same. So thank you so much, sir. I think we have gathered enough information from you. It was so nice of you to share brief details about the licensing exams, about the education quality, and about the University Geomedi.
Thank you. It
Thank
was
you
my
so
pleasure, and thanks Indians for their hospitality, good hospitality.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you.